Hi Krista, my name is Cassie and I am the reader behind Moments Are. Before we begin, I want to go ahead and apologize that you're getting your reading a couple of days late. My business partner, Shannon, is in charge of making certain that everybody's informed. And I haven't talked to him about it yet, but I'll find out why you weren't informed that your reading was going to be a couple of days late. Also, if you want to know what was going on with me, I talked about that in my introduction to Monday's general reading, okay? So you can find out all about it there because I did mention the death of my family, but there's been some other things that were going on, and I just think that it's good to inform people of that. So we've got questions here that are really looking at your destiny in love. Like who are you supposed to be with, and whether or not you've met them, and that kind of thing. So we're going to have a really interesting reading. So I'm going to use these cards as well as some cards that I've made for these specific questions because I don't know of any card decks that actually that actually go over this kind of stuff. All right. So we've got archetype cards by Carolyn Miss. This will help us get some characteristics there. We have the Universal Rider-Waite Tarot. We have a Lenormand deck, and this is from the Easy Lenormand. We have Psychic Tarot for the Heart. This is by John Holland. We have Your Sacred Wealth Code Oracle cards by Prima Lee Guerreri. And we have Angel Answers Oracle card. Originally, it was done by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine, but now only Radley Valentine publishes it, okay? And then, like I said, I have my own cards to talk about how your twin flame looks, that kind of stuff. Alrighty? So that said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all three of your questions, and we're going to just look at, some of the questions I'm not going to use all the decks, some of them I will. And we're going to basically just look into this, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to get started with how does your twin flame look? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the cards with your number, okay? So what I do is I shuffle it this way until it feels right, which is actually right now, and then I'm going to shuffle it 11 times this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, how does your twin flame look? Okay. Alrighty. Let me go ahead and put this here. And we're going to go ahead and get 2 cards from this deck. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. We're going to get 1 card from this deck. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. We are not going to use this deck for this particular question. We're going to get 1 card from this deck. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. All right, so I'm starting to get a pretty full picture here. Next, we're going to do the Lenormand. Okay. And we are going to get some of the cards from here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we have green eyes. Okay, we're going to get 2 from this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so he's got a nice butt, and he's a little bit more. He has a little bit of weight on him. That's a little bit more. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, he's usually well dressed, and he wears either a watch or jewelry. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and start here. We've got somebody who is very calm on the outside, somebody who is of average build, okay? He's not like extra tall or extra short. He's about average. There's something about a sadness that he carries around with him, so he might seem like he's kind of serious, okay? He might also just like wearing the color red, okay? When you meet him, you will feel like love is all around you. It's like you're gonna recognize him right away, and you'll notice that when you're around him. I know this isn't answering the question, what does he look like, but this like is basically what goes on inside of you when you're around him. You feel like you need to kind of take a couple of deep breaths, because this guy is like, you know, there's something about him that's like kind of intimidating, kind of makes you nervous, and it's like you can't really believe this is happening. So the Lenormand, we have the Lenormand, you know, it talks about all sorts of different things, but what we can see here is that you will recognize who this person is, okay? He's got a big heart, and again, he might just like the color red here, okay? Because we've gotten this heart, you know, we've gotten it twice. So even though we get the card that says that, you know, there's a little bit more to love, you know, like maybe he's not like perfectly fit or anything, we also have somebody who's very athletic. So he probably goes to the gym regularly, or maybe takes a morning jog regularly or something like that. Maybe he rides his bike instead of using his car. He does do some kind of physical work either every day or almost every day, okay? So we've got, like, his eyes are really round, okay? He's got really round eyes, and he talks a lot. I know that that's not how he looks, but, you know, we take what the cards will give us. He talks a lot. He might be a musician, though, because also the birds can mean singing as well. He might hum to himself a lot, you know, that kind of thing, but it's more likely that he talks a lot, okay? So here are some other characteristics, okay? He's kind of like an alternative kind of person, you know? He doesn't necessarily go with what everybody says to go with. Yes, he's well dressed, but he might dress just a little bit eccentric, you know? Like, not real, I don't feel like he stands out a whole lot, but he does dress a little bit different from most people. He's very intelligent. He's very creative. Again, with the birds, I'm starting to think that, especially intuitively, I'm feeling that he's probably a musician of some sort, you know, or he probably at least plays a musical instrument, or he likes to sing, you know, he likes music. He really enjoys that. He's intuitive. Even though he's like very intelligent and he can be kind of like technical and stuff like that, he's also very intuitive. He likes psychology. He likes putting things together to create to create new things. So he's the kind of person that will take different ideas and put them together and come up with a brand new idea based on these two ideas. So he kind of synthesizes information. He's also very charismatic. That might be something that will give you a little bit of a red flag, just because you'll wonder, like, well, is this guy with a lot of other girls or what, you know? But he's just charismatic because he's yours, you know? It's not that he's actually charismatic. It's just that he's charismatic around you. All right. We also have that he is a dilettante. This is basically saying that he delights in the arts. He sees deeply. Okay. He sees deeply, and that's why he has a lot of creativity there. He sees more than just what's on the surface, and he wants to express that. Okay. So, he's got a nice butt. He's well dressed. He probably wears either a watch or some kind of jewelry. And I do want to say that's the way that they spell jewelry in Australia. Okay, I'm learning Australian English because I'm going to move to Australia in a year. And so that's why I spell things weird. Just wanted to just clear the air there. But yeah, he probably wears either a watch or a bracelet or maybe a gold chain or a silver chain. I don't feel like he's got piercings. I don't think that it's an earring, but it's like he's got some kind of jewelry or a watch that he wears all the time. It's just like something that he always wears. It could be like what I wear, like a Fitbit, you know, or something like that, or some kind of like smartwatch or whatever. So yeah, and you know, and again, it's like, I don't get that he's overweight though. I just get, well, I mean, I don't get that he's fat, okay? Let's just put it that way. I get that he's not, like, even though he works out a lot and even though he does spend a lot of time doing that and everything, I just get that he's a bigger person. It might just be that he's got like really broad shoulders and that he's tall and that kind of thing, okay? And we've got green eyes. That's really interesting because in my eye colors, I have the same amount that's proportional to the world population. So I know that green eyes is really rare to get. Understand, I'm just saying this to be really cautious because I want to make sure that I'm as clear as possible. This could mean that he's got hazel eyes, so that they might be brown with just a little tint of either green or gold in there, okay? I do want to mention that, but yeah, that's going to be a very outstanding characteristic because I'm also feeling like he's more dark than light-skinned. So, so yeah. So that's what I'm getting there. I hope that answers your question. I wanted to look at everything that I could. I'm going to go ahead and say that he likes the color red as well. So he might be wearing red, or he might, you know, he might have something red on him. You know, like if, for example, if he does wear a Fitbit, maybe it's a red one. Maybe he uses a red band, you know, something like that. Or maybe he's just going to be talking about how much he likes that color. Either way, I think that we've answered that question very nicely. So now we've got our me and my crush meant to be. Okay, so for this particular question, we're going to be using the Lenormand. We're going to be using Psychic Tarot for the Heart. Okay. We're going to be using the Universal Rider-Waite Tarot. Okay, and we'll be using the Angel Answers. We're going to do it the same way we did the other one, okay? I'm going to pull 2 cards from this particular deck. Okay, so we have a very clear no right now, but we also have compromise, okay, with your crush. So there might be something more here. I'm not satisfied with just this answer. It could be that you're not compatible right now, but it'll reveal that maybe some other time you will be. I want to make sure that this is very clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so 2 cards from here. Okay. Okay, so like he would want to be with you like sexually, but I don't see a whole lot of emotion from this deck. Okay. Right. Yeah, he's definitely attracted to you. And he thinks about it too. He notices that you're really different from other people. Like you're special. Okay. Yeah, you're like in the middle of the world, right? Like you're like one of a kind, that kind of thing. Like he knows that if he was to be with you, that it would be very, very special. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pull 7 cards for the Lenormand, just so we can get as much information as possible. Okay. Okay. Right, this isn't an absolute no. This is saying that there's some hope. But let's go ahead and go through all of this, okay? So if you guys are meant to be, there's going to be some kind of compromise you're going to have to make in order to be with him. So basically, if there's something that he does that you don't like, that you'd like for him to change or something like that, you know, you've got to be able to be okay with that. Because I don't feel like he's going to change necessarily for you, or if he does, it would be something kind of small instead of something big, okay? And it also says no. So like the very first thing that we got was that the answer's no as far as you and your crush. That's okay. You know, we'll just keep going here. Again, we get that you're one of a kind. You know, he thinks that you're very different from other people. You know, he likes to watch you. He likes to see how you're going to respond to things. He finds it interesting. And then we've got the base chakra. You know, he's got a lot of sexual feelings for you, okay? He notices that you have a lot to offer, okay? This is somebody who has a lot of abundance, you know. You've got a lot to offer in a relationship, and he would like that. You know, he sees that you would be a really easy person to be with. And I don't mean because he thinks you're easy. I mean that you would be easy to be with because he, you know, he sees that, you know, he sees that things would be, because of your attitude, really. Because you have such a positive attitude, and because of the way you are, he knows that it would be a situation where you guys wouldn't have a whole lot of fights and stuff like that. Like, you'd be very pleasant and pleasing. But when we have the happily ever after card here, you know, this saying that shows that you have a future, it's in the reverse. So there's some kind of block to that. So right now the answer is no. There would have to be some kind of compromise, okay? So, one thing that I'm getting about him, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we need to get one more card here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is the focus. Okay, yeah, so what we're getting here is the focus of this question. Are me and my crush meant to be is about making a decision, okay? So it's like, I feel like he needs to make that decision about you and be very clear about it. I understand that you expressed your feelings to him and he kind of turned you down and all of that. So if he's already saying that, then it could just be that he really isn't interested. We do have the stars, which talk about destiny, but when we read the Lenormand like this, we read it like it's a book. Okay, so even though we have the stars, which talks about destiny, we also have the fox, which talks about somebody you know from work. So it's like your destiny to work together. Of course, that could mean working on a relationship, but there aren't any relationship cards in this spread except for the anchor, which talks about a stable relationship. It talks about hope, and it talks about like sticking with something. Okay, so when we have stable relationship, we've got stability, and then we've got the tree. So we have like stability and growth. Okay, so this is a positive relationship. You're both positive forces in each other's life, and that might be why it's so attractive to think of being with him. And then we have the writer and the clouds. Okay, the clouds can let us know that there's something that's not quite clear in either his mind or yours. I feel like it's his. I feel like he's not really clear in his mind, and he either needs to talk to you in person about that, and that might be referring to the compromise, or he might want to run away from it. Let me go ahead and get clarity for that, because I really want to make sure. This is my little deck that I go to for clarity. I don't shuffle it for my person because it's for me. So yeah, we're going to figure out if his intention is to talk about it or to just kind of like want to run away from it, okay? And I just shuffle it until enough cards come out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take these cards and the cat that came out earlier. Because this is too much. Way too much. Okay, this will give us enough clarity to know. So we've got the cat. Cats are usually independent. That gives me the impression that he might want to get away from this. But another thing is that cats are also superstitious. So he might have some kind of superstition involving this. We have the axe. That lets me know that somebody wants to cut somebody else out of their life, or that somebody wants to cut off a certain aspect, okay, of the relationship. Okay, so I do feel like he is in the now. He's very firm on his no. We have the antidote. I think that there's ways that you can talk to him that might help him come around, but again, he's sexually attracted to you. He likes sorry, that's my timer going off. Don't even worry about that. He likes to observe you. He thinks you're really unique. He sees that you have a lot to offer, but he doesn't see that forever with you, okay? So do understand that he's somebody that if you wanted to be intimate with him, for example, he might be up for that. And I say that because it's like, I know sometimes you'll be really, like, I don't mean you personally, but a person will be very attracted to somebody and they just need to get it out of their systems, So I just want to, let you know that he's really in his head. So when he's feeling cloudy in his head, it feels really uncomfortable. Okay, the skull represents the mind. We've got the octopus. We've got him. He's doing a lot of things all at once. Okay, so it might also be that he just doesn't have time for a relationship with you. And then we also have the moth. He has recently gone through a lot of changes, and that's probably why he's going through a lot of, he's so preoccupied and all of that. So all of this put together makes me think that he's running away, not that he wants to talk. Okay, and I'm just looking for anything I'm not getting anything else except for the compromise card that gives me the idea that he wants to communicate with you about this, okay? He most likely feels like he has already said what he needs to. And it's time to move past that or move on. Because staying with it is just making him feel too confused. Okay? Now, there's nothing confusing for a man, most men, about being sexually intimate. And there's definitely no confusion about noticing that you're unique, you're a very unique person, that you're a very nice person, and you're somebody that he likes to watch, you know? Definitely nothing confusing about that. What's confusing is like this, the feelings, you know, like this, you know, he wants to keep it at work. There's too many things that he'd have to decide. He'd have to make all these decisions in order to figure out how he's going to fit you in his life and all of that kind of stuff. I really think that it's a situation where it is way better. It's way better to just kind of let it go. All right. So your next question, we're going to be using the angel answers. We're going to be using this tarot deck. We're going to be using Psychic Tarot for the heart and the Lenormand to answer this question. Have I met my future husband already? Let's go ahead and see what Angel Answers says. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, it says wait and romance. So this is not, it's just saying that you've got to wait before something happens. Okay? I feel like the romance just gives us that confirmation that you will find a husband. Okay. Let's go ahead and see. Has Krista met her future husband already? Let's see here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Wow. Okay. So remember how before we looked at this for, you might recognize this card for your twin flame. This is called the Magician. Okay. We get the Magician right here, but he's in the reverse. I think that it's important to note that. That gives me the impression that you have not met him, because if you had met him, then the Magician would be like that. So it's like you haven't met him yet. Let's see if we can get more confirmation from these other cards. Okay. This is really nice, though, because it's like when you do meet him, you're going to know this is the person for you. Yeah, without a doubt. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. All right. It says change your focus. So I don't think that you are, I really think that this is, you know, this is indicative enough. Okay. Change your focus. We've got the Hierophant, which is teach. You haven't learned enough lessons yet to have met him yet. I feel like he is very close in your environment right now, or he's somebody that you, would have the chance to meet, okay, if you just change your focus a little bit. For example, I'm talking about like twin flames. Like, I met my twin flame on the internet, okay, but he and I, like, for about half a year or so, he and I didn't really connect that much. I actually really didn't like him when I first met him. So it's like, if I had been more focused on, well, why don't I like this person? You know, and it's like, oh, it's because he's smarter than me. It's because he, you know, all of these things that are actually really good things, you know. If I had been more focused on that, then maybe I would have recognized it more quickly. And I just hadn't learned enough about the twin flame relationship and all of that kind of stuff. And I knew about it, okay? I've known about it for a very long time. At least 18 years, because I remember knowing about it when I was in my when I was early 20s, okay? So it's like, I knew about it, but I just hadn't, it wasn't in the forefront of my mind at the time that I met this man. So anyway, that's what I mean by changing your focus. Like if I had asked this question of somebody at the time that I had met him already, they might say change your focus, like I have, because I didn't meet the person, I didn't actually literally see them or anything like that. I just wasn't focused on it, at the time. So I just wanted to make sure that that was really clear. It could also be that the person lives near you, and it's about like noticing the people around you as well. But the reason that I'm getting is that you haven't learned something. There's something you haven't learned, and the Queen of Wands showing up in the reverse position lets me know that I think part of what you haven't learned yet is exactly what you want. Because I think that once you know what you want, then when you see it, you'll know immediately. You know what I mean? So you might want to kind of go within and think about, like, what do I really want in a person? And, that can manifest them right there. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we're going to do 5 cards for this particular one. Okay, so I think that it's actually going to be pretty soon, though, that you'll meet this person, because we have the Clover here talking about how it is something that's lucky, and we've got a really low number, so that lets me know that it's certainly possible that you'll meet this person this year or next. Okay, we do have that the person is probably more introverted than extroverted. Okay. Another thing that this could also mean is that he might work for like a corporation or something like that. But I really feel intuitively this is more about introversion. Okay. This person's a person that likes to stick with schedules, and that kind of stuff. He's very responsible. Okay. And we have that, like, when you meet him, it will be like you will feel so happy, and you'll think that he's so attractive, and he'll be attracted to you too, which is awesome, because I personally don't think my twin is very attractive. So yeah, so this looks really good. I really believe, and I know that I said that I don't think my twin's very attractive. He's attractive in his own way. Okay, I don't want to, like, because I definitely don't think he's ugly. I think he's attractive in his own way. I just don't. I would never be attracted to him in a normal circumstance. Okay, is what I'm saying. But yeah, this. I think that your future husband is going to be the twin that we were talking about, because there's so many things that are so similar about it with the magician energy here. It feels right. And we've got the Lovers. Like, the Lovers tends to mean a divine, like, at least for me, the way that I read it. Not everybody's going to read it that way. But it means for me like a divine like connection between two people, like we've got this angel like bringing them together, like it's like the universe wants them to come together. And we've got the sun here, we've got sunflowers here, we've got the sun right here. It feels like this is all clicking into place really well. It says, wait, I really think that it's just that you're not supposed to know who it is yet, but when you do, it's going to be very romantic. Yeah. Okay, so that said, Krista, I hope that you have enjoyed your reading. I hope that you feel as though I've answered your questions clearly. And if there's anything that I said in this video that you need clarity on, please let me know. I try to be very good about answering my emails. And I don't anticipate having any kind of limitations to that. So please let me know, and I'll be able to get back to you. Thank you so much for picking me to do this reading for you. I hope that, again, I really just hope you enjoyed it, because I really liked it myself, which is always a plus when I'm doing these readings. That said, I hope to see you on my channel.